Are there any questions? Yeah? Yeah? What do you do when the breath becomes very subtle? Know the breath. I mean, when the breath becomes subtle and you have the feeling that the breath disappears, that means your interest in the breath disappeared. So you have to be more interested in the breath at every slice of the breath. You have to know, when the in-breath starts, when it goes to its height, when the in-breath, slowly goes out and then turns into the out-breath. Yeah? The breath becomes subtle, but the moment the breath becomes subtle, the knowing of the breath becomes stronger. In the end, you can't feel the breath anymore, but you still know that it goes in and goes out. And that becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. It becomes very clear. Yeah? You really can't feel the breath anymore because it's so subtle, but you know the breath. Yeah? And then you will know that the breath stops. Because you can't feel it, that the breath stops, you will know that the breath stops. And then at that point you have to switch, or you have to jump into the knowingness to get one-pointed. Yeah? And that might be difficult. Yeah? It might take a few hours, because the chitta is not yet ready, to get one-pointed. Yeah? But sometimes, if you're just interested in what's happening, you're instantly there. You're instantly into the one-pointedness. Yeah? It all depends on the interest. Yeah? If you're interested in any moment of the breath, then it is very easy, Then you don't even notice that you jump into one-pointedness, because you automatically go there. But that can change from day to day, sometimes it is easier, sometimes it's more difficult. Sometimes, the Ajahn had to wait two hours, before it really was willing to go there. Yeah? And, all what was left, the knowing of the breath was very strong. All what was left, the chitta was so restless, it constantly wanted to go out and it didn't want to give in. Yeah? Until, until it suddenly gave in, and then it goes. Yeah? And the same thing is with the Buddha, the Buddha becomes so strong that you can't think it anymore. Not that Buddha disappears, people say Buddha disappears, breath disappears. No. If the Buddha disappears, our interest in the Buddha disappears. If the breath disappears, our interest in the breath disappears. And if we have no interest, we have no concentration. Clear? And so don't think, oh, my breath is so subtle, I must be very good, yeah? No. You're not. Yeah? You're not concentrated. Okay? Yeah? Actually what is happening, when you're really aware is, when you focus on the breath, yeah? You focus on the tip of the nose, you know that the breath goes in, you know that the breath goes out. The moment the concentration becomes stronger, the concentration itself splits into two things, into the knowing that goes back to the heart and the concentration that stays at the tip of the nose. You will know that, and once you feel that, just let the knowing drop to the heart and just know the breath. Then you don't have to feel it anymore. But if that doesn't happen on its own, then feel it here. Try to feel it here. And know that your interest is lacking. Try to put more interest in it. When did it change into the out-breath? When did it change into the in-breath? Sometimes ask yourself this question to get interested. Not just, most of the people, then falls asleep, yeah? Sometimes, if you feel your interest is losing, ask yourself the question, when did it change into the out-breath? I didn't catch it. Let me catch it. Yeah? Okay? Make it interesting. 100% interest is 100% concentration. Huh? No, the interest is gone. It's not the subtlety of the breath. The interest in the breath itself is gone. That's why you don't feel it. And that's why you don't feel, the knowingness going inside. When you walk, it's better. Yeah, of course. That's why I tell the people, for walking it is much easier because 50% of the chitta is occupied with walking, and we only have to concentrate the other 50%. When we sit, we have to concentrate 100%, and that is of course much more difficult. So try to do, walking until you really get calm, and then do sitting. And even if it is walking for 2 or 3 hours, then just walk for 2 or 3 hours until you feel the chitta is really calm, and then sit down, and then you will see it's much easier. Okay? Anybody else? Tired? Yeah? Yeah.
And I felt very comfortable, and after that I keep wanting to focus on the breath.
Yeah.
Do you see I'm trying to control myself to have that calm breath, or it's okay to maybe continue focusing on that?
Well, I'm not clear that I understand, the first part, of your explanation. What is exactly happening?
When I observe my breathing,
Yeah.
suddenly I felt that the breathing is very smooth,
Yeah.
and I feel very good.
Yeah. And then you don't want to concentrate on the breathing anymore.
Should I or should I not?
Of course you should.
That's why I have that.
That is a common mistake of any kind of meditator. The moment a pleasant feeling arises, instead of, observing the breath, where the pleasant feeling gets more and more intense, they go into the pleasant feeling until it disappears and then feel sorry. No, of course you should concentrate further on the breath, and you will notice, the more you concentrate on the breath, the pleasant feeling that has arisen in the beginning will more and more become intense.
So I continue to
Yeah,
breathing,
yeah.
and I continue to have that calm, comfortable feeling. So
No, you don't concentrate on the feeling. It's a byproduct, yeah? We don't, samatha is concentrating on only one object and one object only, yeah? So it is the breath. What is happening, is there's some feelings coming up, because of our concentration, yeah? But we are not concentrating on these feelings that come up, because they can differ, from time to time there can be different kinds of feelings coming up. We are concentrating on the breath, yeah? And the byproduct of our concentration are these feelings that arise. But they can also cease. So we don't worry about this, we are worried about that we are not concentrated on our breath, yeah? Anybody else? You're ready to die?
Ajahn, in walking meditation,
Yeah?
is it possible to see signs of kasinas?
Signs of what?
Kasinas in walking meditation.
Why shouldn't you? I mean casinos, or whatever science, Science and casinos are two different things, yeah? They are called normally nimittas, yeah? Most of the nimittas are just visual thoughts. Instead of seeing, instead of noticing the thought, you see an image popping up. Don't worry about that. Of course it happens in walking meditation, it happens in standing meditation, it happens everywhere. Yeah? Don't give any point of it. Yeah? Don't put any interest in it. They're just there to distract you. And you got distracted, and so they're successful. You have to understand, you know how the kilesas work, yeah? They break up something, be it an old memory or be it a picture, and then immediately they ask, where does that come from? Huh? And you got fooled. They bring up something and then they ask the question, where did that come from? Yeah? This must be something, or they commented, this must be something very special. And it's just a trick of the kilesa. And they probably laugh behind your back, oh, this stupid guy, he still falls for our tricks, yeah? Whatever we bring up, They bring up so many things, yeah? They bring up signs, they bring up nimittas, A real nimitta has a meaning, but it comes, it doesn't come up very often, only if you get really, really calm, you can see something. You can see something from the past, something from your past lives, or you can see something from the future happening, yeah? That can come up. But only when the chitta, when the mind is completely calm, yeah? As long as you still have to struggle with your thoughts and memories, it will not come up. Okay? Don't fall for these tricks, yeah? And it's only one of the many tricks they have within their sleeves, yeah? Okay? Yeah, there are some questions from the safe. Yeah?
Dear Ajahn, under which aggregate can we categorize heart and mind?
Heart and mind belong to the chitta.
Under what aggregate?
The chitta is not one of the aggregates. Didn't I explain it yesterday? Body is one of the aggregates, yeah? Feeling is another of the aggregates. Memory, association, so all our labels, is one of the aggregates. Thoughts, views, opinions is another of the aggregates. And then consciousness is another of the aggregates. Where is mind and heart? It's a chitta, it's part of the chitta, yeah? So it's not, I thought I told you, that the 5 aggregates are the toolbox of the kilesas or of the Dhamma. Yeah? Whoever, is able to use them, yeah? Or like my master said, whoever sits on the throne, he has the command over the 5 khandhas. Yeah? So the mind and the heart, are aspects of the chitta. Yeah? Okay? Understood? Next? No more? Safe is empty, huh? Okay? Then we close up.
So